Oh shit. And I'm hoping that what am I hoping for? Something. Hoping to make a video sometime today. Mm. Hey there, YouTube. This is the second episode of Big Mike Beard Wisdom, and today we're actually going to be talking about the editing in the first video. In the course of doing the editing in the first video, I decided, it was a good time to kind of make some comments about stuff. So, in the course of editing that video, I used the basically the photo editor that's in Windows 10 that everyone has. So in the screen capture footage that we'll be viewing, I've got these headphones on. They're noise canceling, and it'll be really interesting because I think they noise cancel out a lot of stuff. Like I can't really hear myself typing all that well, and I barely hear the click of the mouse. But in a quick review of the footage, I could definitely hear the click and the typing. I'd be curious to see if it winds up picking up any like squeaks or rattles that the chair might make. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. If there's any weird clunks and noises and stuff, hopefully it's that. And then not the house falling apart. So I'll be using a free screen capture. Basically, it's the Xbox Game Bar that's available on any computer that has Windows 10 on it. And basically, you hit Windows key and G in order to bring the game bar up. There are some limitations in the game bar, and I may wind up using the part of the video where I talk about it a little bit. But basically, it only shows one part of the screen, so one window. So there'd be a section where maybe I might open up a window, or I might open up a different drop down, and you guys won't be able to see what the drop down is that I'm messing with. I may be talking about it, but you won't be able to see what that is at all. And then once you get to the video, you can hit edit and create. And then we'll go down to create video with text. But this is going to be one of those lessons that, hey, next time I think I'm going to try PowerPoint, probably for editing of the next major videos. So here we are editing the video for the first video. I've started out by opening up just a couple of the pictures that I have saved that I took to try and use as thumbnails for the video. Once I blow through these real quick, some of them are winners, some of them not. We'll get to the actual video. And then once you get to the video, you can hit edit and create. And then we'll go down to create video with text. This will take a little bit of time to load. In the meantime, I'm using the Xbox Game Bar to do these screen recording. Basically, if you hit the Windows key and then G at the same time, then it'll pop up the Windows Game Bar. It's got a lot of different options, and I recommend checking out some of the YouTube videos that people have online for how to use it. I'm experimenting with it now, so I'm just trying to figure out how to make it work for myself. So, but let's give the video a name. My first video. All of the good and the bad. Alright, so here's the video. And basically, even though I'm shooting for hopefully about a 7-minute video, maybe a 6-minute or 5-minute video, I recorded about 15 minutes. In the 15 minutes, you're going to see that right off the bat, there's going to be some downtime. So let's get this rolling. Hey there, YouTube. There we go. So it looked like it's about 10 seconds I started talking. So I'm just going to take her back to about a little bit. Oh, that looked like I wasn't talking there. We'll go with the eyes wide shut. And then we'll go ahead and hit split. That'll make 2 videos. So now I've got the first part, which is basically junk. So now we can pretty much just take this one and make it go away. Let's see. Is there a delete?
Remove this video clip. That sounds fine.
Hey there, YouTube, and welcome to the first episode of Big Mike Beard Wisdom. I'm Big Mike. Here's the beard, and I brought the wisdom. So,
All right. I don't really like how I did that. So, branding wise, later on, I'll probably change that.
today we're going to be making the first video. I'm doing it with just my cell phone, and I'm going to try and do some of the first videos with stuff that I have on hand. Mostly because I was just laid off, and I want to try and build a YouTube channel, kind of like stock investing, starting out small and slowly working better and better and better. So for now,
I wish I would have said bigger and bigger and bigger, but this is the first video. It's better just to get it out now than to critique it and have to have it perfect and never actually ever post it.
it'll just be my Samsung Galaxy Note 9. This is the forward-facing camera.
It seems like with this Xbox game bar, you weren't able to see the menu on the drop down. So whenever I selected earlier the edit like with text and stuff, you guys weren't able to see that drop down menu that came down. So I'm gonna probably be popping in and out as I do the video just to see what kind of stuff there's lacking. But for the most part, hopefully you can follow the steps just in case. But you can just kind of follow where my mouse was. You clicked where that was, then hopefully if you want to editing your own video and following along, it'll work out. But this is just one of those things for me to keep in mind that, hey, this isn't maybe the best, depending on what I'm doing. So if it's something that I'm doing on the computer and it's within maybe a single screen, maybe everything's fine. Maybe it just doesn't display uh, like drop downs, so or other panes or something. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. But continuing on with the edit, so there'll probably be a lot of jumping around, mostly because we don't need to rewatch the first video again in its entirety. And also, in case I burp or something, cough, sneeze, Rona hits me in the middle of the editing, I don't need you guys exposed to that. Nobody wants a computer virus. So here we go. Moving on.
We're probably
All right, so right now I'm trying to clean up where I end in this first part, and then I'm using the title card here as a break for it. That way I can kind of see, okay, here's where the audio ended, here's where the title card hits to see exactly where that stopped, and here's where the rest of the video continues. I'm hoping that I can try and clean this up just a little bit more because I don't like how I hit that one extra vowel. So let's give this a run, see if it sounds clear, and if I kind of stopped it at a point that it seems like I stopped when I should have.
with the free Windows one. I've also messed a little bit with the one on the Samsung phone. More than likely, this will be edited on the phone.
So now I'm looking at trying to edit out where I'm talking about posting it and then using Canva, because I can use Canva in a video later as a try and example of here's what I'm doing, here's how I did it kind of situation, as opposed to having it in here. I'm in first video that's 13, 15, and 8 minutes long and stuff like that. It's getting a little bit of a stretch, so I want to try and keep it short and sweet. And then because there's a lot of stuff I've noticed so far. So like the image is flipped. So instead of my shirt reading the correct way, it's backwards, which must be indicative of the Samsung Note. Somehow using that front camera must flip the image. So I'll have to remember that whenever I go to upload this to the computer or wherever I go to save this later, to always flip that image the right way. Let's back that up. So it looks like I'm making an S sound. Maybe about there. Split it there. We'll move our handy dandy title card over.
And then posted. And then I've also used Canva just a little bit to help. So the logo I drew actually in Samsung Notes.
I'm good with that.
By hand. Boy, where was I? Doing something. Right.
So when you're acting kind of crazy, trying to get back to normal and trying to get yourself back on pace, it's perfectly fine to do that because it's one of those things where you can always edit this out later. And then what I'm going to do is once I get back on pace, I'm going to try and track the time and hit a split right when I'm going back on pace. That way I can take the image for this part, kick it to the back, and just store it way back here. That way I can have it as a blooper. Do you want control? I do get more control. Okay. So this has been driving me nuts because it seems like I didn't have enough granularity here to try and select within this in order to shorten pick seconds and stuff in order to make this a little bit easier. Apparently you just click this button over here. And then now you've got so much more granularity. This ought to let me trim this a little bit easier and jump around without trying to be having to cover like watch 30 more seconds of this because as of right now, I don't know where I'm at with the editing of this video, but right now I'm at 26 seconds of the second part of this video, including I think 5 minutes in the first part of the video. So whenever this gets edited together, I bet I'm going to have some pretty fair amount of time just in editing the first video, let alone editing the video about editing the video. Back it on up, back it on up, back it on up. Oh. Wish you could hold this and it would just back up. But seriously, all this editing, it really makes you appreciate the people that must have to do this for a living, either for commercials or for other things. I hope my chair didn't squeak when I lean forward like that. That'll be another blooper reel.
Boy. So I'm already working on making some improvements. One of the big things was I shut the shade on the window back behind us. That'll help with the glare that you guys were seeing with my glasses the whole last episode. It made it darker in here, so of course there's going to be a little bit more glare. So that the hat will be on at least a little bit, but I do notice that it's darker and it's much more shaded now with the hat. So I'll try and figure something out as far as that goes.
I'm calling it a quit for this one. If you guys like what you saw, like and subscribe. Hopefully you learned a little bit from this. The more people that subscribe, the faster we can get monetized and the faster we can track how this is going. So have a good day. Peace out. Have a good one. Adios.
And also, besides those, I've also downloaded maybe we won't shoot right here as often. Maybe I'll just, nope, that adds plenty of glare too. So we'll figure something out. The cool thing is on Black Friday, I picked up these headphones, and I also picked up a GoPro on Black Friday. Isn't that what I just said? Oh, that's a good point. So I'm using these Bose. Shit, what are these? something. Oh, there's a sale on tablets.
There'll probably be a lot of jumping around. Oh man, just because. So there'll be probably a. That broke it. I don't know what I'm doing.